Knowles.
All right.
Good to
Oh,
see
it's so good to be here in the President Barack Obama studio here at the President Barack Obama building on Barack Obama Avenue.
Boulevard.
Yeah.
It's Obama's world. We're just living
We're
in it.
just living in it.
So this was an actual thing. Where is this street?
Sort of. I mean, define actual, define thing. It's the closest they have to an actual thing remaining of the Obama presidency.
Right. This is his legacy. This street. I mean,
yes. We can rename all the streets after him. It would come closest to his having a legacy.
Yeah.
So I actually used to live pretty close to where this boulevard is.
Yeah.
It's Rodeo Road, not Rodeo Drive. They didn't rename the famous street in Beverly Hills
Right,
after
of course
it.
not. Yeah.
It's a road in a sort of historically black neighborhood.
Because
south.
under Obama, we couldn't afford to shop on a Rodeo Drive.
Exactly.
To wait for Trump.
Those stores were going out of business. So it's on Rodeo Road, and now it is called President Barack Obama Boulevard. This is, by the way, not the first time. This is the second time in the last 2 years that LA has named a road after Barack Obama.
It is?
You might not remember this, but last year part of the 134 freeway was also named the President Barack H. Obama Highway.
You're kidding.
Yes, and it went unnoticed because it just doesn't matter at all. Now, one thing that's worth noting here, though, is it's not called the Obama Highway. It's not called Obama Road. It's not called Barack Obama Road. It's called President Barack Obama.
Well, because they have to remind us who he was.
They have, who Barack, what was that? You know, I think they don't want to admit that he's no longer president. And the reason they don't want to admit that is because if you admit that, then you admit he accomplished nothing.
Yeah,
He completely failed. There is no legacy.
A couple of good race riots. I mean,
that's true. He did have
destroy Ferguson.
a few moments of great exploitation and division, but otherwise nothing. And so he's the president. He's the president. He's not. He was the president. Nothing happened. He completely failed. This is according to the New York Times chief White House correspondent Peter Baker has a new book.
I was talking about this in my opening. Yeah,
did you? Okay.
Yeah, but I was kidding around about it. So tell him the truth.
So this book, Obama: The Call of History, he says that Barack Obama blamed Hillary for the loss, but he took it as a personal affront.
I meant it as a personal affront.
And that's true. I mean, and by the way, Obama on the campaign trail did say, it'll be a personal insult if you don't come out and vote for me.
Did he say
I'll take it. Yes, he went out and said, I'll take it personally.
I thought it was when I came out of the voting booth and said, and screw
you.
And
that'll show you. That's for Barack. So he made it about him. He did, when he was out on that campaign trail, he was making it about him, and the voters heard him, and they gave him the right answer. So now what are they going to do? They're renaming these roads. That's kind of pathetic. So the only thing he can do is try to pretend that the Trump legacy is the Obama legacy. So he's now taking credit for the economy. People forget. How quickly people forget. Barack Obama's chief economist, Larry Summers, when Donald Trump was predicting 3% economic growth, what did Larry Summers say? He said the budget forecasts that U.S. economic growth will rise to 3% because of the administration's policies. Okay, fair enough if you believe in tooth fairies and ludicrous supply-side economics. That's a direct quote. Former president of Harvard, chief economist to Barack Obama. He said that in 2017 in the Washington Post. Paul Krugman, what did Paul Krugman say?
Oh, I remember that.
You remember that? He said, we're looking at a global recession because of Trump's election with no end in sight. And then what happened? Larry Summers in Washington Post in 2017, 3% economic growth is the tooth fairy. We hit 3% by Q2 of 2017.
For a year, right?
For a year. So we had the 3%, then that quarterly economic growth went up to 4.2% in the second quarter of 2018. And now what is Q1 this year? 3.2%. We just keep hitting 3% and exceeding it.
And you know, it's funny because you would think that this is what I was talking about today, was the fact that they don't report, there's no news anymore. It's not fake news. It's like no news. It's zero news. Because really the discussion we should be having is what caused this? What are the flaws? Because I think there's some flaws in Trump's policies, but like still, deregulation and cutting taxes works every single time. I was like, so why aren't we discussing it? Well, because that's not what they're selling. I mean, that's not. It's
not what they're selling, and obviously, you can either change the narrative to go. You can't change your behavior. You can never do that, and so. The Washington Post comes out now that you've got this great economy. Again, we just totally exceed expectations. 49-year low unemployment, and real wages rising.
Wages finally rising, and not just rising, but they're rising for the middle and lower middle class.
That's right. The average hourly wage right now in the United States is $27.77 per hour. By the way, the average work week is declining slightly, so it's not as though people are working more to get that
Plus, by the way, the polls now reflect that even people who hate Trump, are saying, yeah, this is Trump's economy. Because what I like about the Democrat narrative is Trump's economy is just for billionaires, and all they're giving you is scraps, and Obama gets the credit. You know, you go, whoa, wait, I'm sorry, back up. Yeah.
They now one of their defenses, Washington Post and CNN ran this just in the last few days, since the economic numbers came out. WAPO, is this economy too good to be true?
Oh, no, really?
Yes. By the way, spoiler alert, it's not. It's true, it's real, it's happening right now. CNN, why the U.S. economic growth isn't as strong as it looks.
Really?
So I read the article.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
It is as strong as it looks.
I mean, and the thing about it is the incredible narcissism of I mean, you're a father, you have kids. Now they've got new sneakers. Now your dad's got a job. They can see your dad is different when he has a job. The whole house is different when he's got a job. Do they really think they can sell that narrative? It's like, oh, we're not eating. You know, we're not having steak for dinner. You're not, you know, who are they talking to? What fantasy are they?
I mean, to tie this into another story, which is very related, you didn't see a lot of social media censorship during the last days of the Obama administration. But now that you've got reality proving the leftist narrative wrong, what is their answer? We've got to shut down everybody who's letting people in on that little secret.
This really is a disaster. And I mean, I personally, I have no quarter to give to it. Like you know, I know saying this is, I would let like the evilest person speak because I can take him.
Of course.
I can take them.
You know, there was a time when the ACLU was defending neo-Nazis and the KKK marching down the street. Why? Not because they supported the KKK, but because they knew that slippery slope, that moral hazard, and that principle that when you shut them down, where does that stop? Who decides?
The Nazis, you know, Vox, of all places, that Jane Coates,
Costa.
Yeah. She has this piece about the Nazis saying, how can we make ourselves cooler? And the answer is, you can't. You know why? You're Nazis. You know? It's like, I mean, that's why. That's why they worry about it, because we let them speak. They have to worry about it. All right, what are you talking about on your show?
Today, we're going to be talking about how all politics is about religion. This is true from Rashida Tlaib, Ilhan Omar, all the way to the Green New Deal.
I want to hear this. That sounds good. All right, thanks a lot, Knowles. That's good.